Spencer Lazara, MMA interviews in the room of Josh Samman. He's competing this Sunday night, of course, in the UFC against Caio Magalaes. That's a difficult one to say. He's been trying to do it for weeks and weeks. Everybody's asking him who he's fighting. He said, "You're just fighting a Brazilian guy now."
That's what I tell him.
So talk about this fight. He's obviously a very strong grappler. You know, you like to kind of stand and bang and use your range, obviously, especially in this fight. Talk about the matchup.
Yeah, I prefer to strike. I think that he's coming off 2 quick knockouts, and hopefully he thinks he's a striker now as well. So obviously he's a jiu-jitsu black belt, and I'm sure he's been on the mat for a good portion of his life. But I just hope he gives me some time to play around and strike and punch and kick and do the things that I like to do. And if it does go to the mat, then I'm ready for that too.
Huge fight, of course, on Saturday night. It almost seems like Sunday's card is getting slightly dwarfed by it. Has that made things easier for you media obligation-wise, or how has that been?
I don't mind the media obligations. This fight, as many people know, is supposed to be in Florida, and so I was excited about that. But just landing here today in Vegas and feeling the energy in the city and being a part of the whole fight week is something cool to be a part of. So I'm not too bitter about it, and like I said, I don't mind the media stuff. So it's all part of the process.
Yeah, you've had you've become accustomed to being here in Las Vegas with the Ultimate Fighter and whatnot. I mean, talk about this being in a place that you've competed already multiple times.
The Ultimate Fighter, we lived here for 7 weeks, and then my last 2 fights were both here at Mandalay Bay. And the first time we were here, we stayed at the MGM. So this is all. It all feels very reminiscent of my past times here when I've had good times, good successful times, and so it's important to me to keep that up.
When you watch your fellow teammates from the Ultimate Fighter, you kind of have rooting for these guys, or maybe there's guys you don't root for from it, but you look at that specifically more than regular fights.
I root for every single guy from the Ultimate Fighter 17, and our team in particular. We have a group message thread that we stay in touch, and we probably don't go more than a week or 2 without talking and keeping each other up to date on everything. So, yeah, my tough 17 bros. What's up, guys?
And talk about your training down there, MMA Masters in Florida.
Man, I got some great coaches there. Sensei Daniel Valverde and Master Cesar Carneiro are some of the best coaches, I think, in the world in striking and grappling. And, I've got my boxing coach in Tallahassee, Joey Berthoff, that I've spent many, many years with. So, it's just important for all of us to come together as a team and really make a group effort to just make the best fighting product that we can in myself. So, it's been a long training camp. It's been about 3 months since they announced, 3 or 4 months since they announced that the UFC was supposed to be coming to Florida. So as soon as I heard about it, I started getting ready. I was getting prepared because I was excited for it. So it's been good. I've gotten through the training camp without getting dinged up too much, and my weight is good, and everything feels really, really good right now.
The hair's looking good and long. What's the plan for it on Sunday? We're going to see some braids, or just going to be flowing out there?
Nah, man, I got to put it back somehow. Yeah, it's not a fashion statement. Just for practicality, I'll have to braid it up probably.
Right. And talk about your background in the sport and how you got into fighting.
Man, it may or may not be a good story, but I just kind of wandered into a gym one day. I was 16 years old, and I had recently stopped going to high school. I dropped out of school, and I didn't have any aspirations or plans to become a professional fighter. I was just kind of looking for something to do with my energy and time, and it's something that I really ended up enjoying. And so I took 2 amateur fights, and I ended up winning them, and I decided that if I was going to dedicate myself and put myself through the training camps, then I wanted to get paid for it. And so it wasn't long before I went pro. I think I took my first pro fight when I was still 18 or shortly thereafter. And so yeah, here I am today because of all that. This is I'm 27 now, so I've been training for over a decade and competing for almost a decade. So it's been a long road.
Does it feel like something that you were sort of destined to do then? Because it's like like you said, you kind of wandered in, and here you are at the biggest stage of the sport, a professional athlete.
Destiny and fate are things that I'm not sure that I quite believe in to be predetermined, but I use them more as tools, really. I think that it's a powerful thing to believe that you're destined to do something, and so that's what I convince myself of. Even if it takes a bit of irrationality, if you just believe that you're destined to do something, then you're a lot more likely to accomplish it, I think.
So we had a head kick and a recent knockout for you. What are we going to see this Sunday?
Another finish. Absolutely another finish. The referee may or may not have to step in and intervene, but I believe Caio will be going to sleep on Sunday.
There you have it. Be sure to tune in. Fox Sports 1, Josh Samman, Spencer Lazar. Thanks for watching.